They both experienced a roster change of sorts. You have anything to say about that? Any thoughts? Roger for VP and then Lil on Na'Vi. And apparently maybe another roster change besides that.
I don't know if they do too. That's the thing though, when I said like Na'Vi, they wouldn't be pleased with their results. Everyone told me I was crazy.
Yeah.
Like, of course they wouldn't. They wanted, you're not competing. I saw like that EG documentary thing, and they said like, we're okay, but we're not good enough to compete against Liquid in secret. And they didn't mention newbie, but newbie for that matter.
Yeah.
They didn't mention VP because they're like 11-0 against VP, but like when you're a competitive team, you want to be like near the top. I think that these two teams though, like out of all the, whatever you want to call it, tier 2, tier 3 teams, like I have a very distinct thing for it. Like tier 1 is the top 4 teams, tier 2 is everybody else, and tier 3 are the ones that are like trying to get into tournaments
Barely even getting qualifiers. Yeah,
it's like out of all the tier 2, tier 3 teams, I think Kinguin is very promising. I feel like
I agree.
They're pretty consistent. They've got a play style that they figured out. And I think Empire shows a lot more promise. Because I think this Nyx guy is quite good. And I think Yoku on the 4 is pretty beastly too.
Yeah, Yoku, we both had a lot of praise to give him in the last series that we casted for them. Unfortunately, it wasn't quite good enough for them to actually beat out Newbie. But at least they took a game.
Oh, Ghost Stick, look at that. As soon as I give him praise, immediately he steals the rune.
It's like the opposite. The caster's curse. So Empire pick up 3 runes.
We were in their team bus yesterday.
Yep.
When they were leaving. Everything sounded very calm.
Yeah, they were. I noticed that everyone had a voice.
Yeah.
There was one person who was talking quite a bit. I only saw the back of his head, so I'm not sure who it was. But it felt like we were actually, I saw FN talking quite a bit. I know Yoku got his say in. So it seemed like they kind of valued everyone's input into the game, I'd say.
And I talked to Rezo after their run, and he said, like, this team is very talented. They just need to kind of, like, figure it out.
Yeah.
Because I thought, personally, like, I've everyone in high MMRU pubs has run into FN before.
Yes.
And pub personalities are different. Everyone's kind of obnoxious in pubs.
He's known as a rager, flamer.
But, like, when he was in that team talk, he was, like, very calm. I don't know what I expected.
Yeah.
I believed into the hype of maybe he'd be like a jerk to his teammates, but he was super nice. Kept us cool.
And that's the same thing with VP, right? Patos? Oh,
that is a lot.
Wow.
Yeah, me too.
We both thought he was going to get out. He even had a tree toss, though. So even if that one right click didn't finish, he would have tossed the tree. That might have finished him off as well. Ghostic does get a successful pull behind the wave, and it looks like Exotic Deer ends up going down. We had our panel talk a lot about being able to win the mid lane, and we're already seeing that Empire are putting some serious effort into that, making sure that FN does well as the SF up against the Viper. You do need some extra assistance as the SF in this matchup, right?
Oh, for sure. I think that, so it seems like everyone's counter nowadays is the Viper to the Shadow Fiend, and it's been the counter for quite some time. The past like 4 years or something, no matter like how Viper's changed or how SF changed, that seems to just be the straight up counter.
Yeah.
And
Katsu does pick up a haste rune.
This Disruptor's getting a lot of levels right now.
He's going to be caught though. Haste rune finally does catch him. Katsu actually thinks about running backwards there, and it's going to be met with a tiny now, so has to run himself away.
Yeah, I really like that Nyx made his way over. Skipped the creep wave to help his homie. And if he had made it inside the cogs, might have even killed Katsur, but that is a very, like, he's almost level 3 already at 2 minutes. You're not sad about that.
I would say the one downside here for Kinguin with their Viper matchup is I don't feel like they have a 4 position. It really helps out in that mid lane. Earlier, I think at ESL 1 Genting, we were seeing the Viper Tusk duo, and that just seemed to be super strong against these SF mid. Here, I feel like Clockwork is less likely to have the kind of big impact.
What was that, like Na'Vi versus Liquid?
Yeah.
Nyx, though, doing pretty well. Got 12 CS, not at the tops. That distinction belongs to the Juggernaut.
Jug's having a total free lane, it seems. Ghostic's not able to do a whole lot about that. But Poshka does manage to get a pull off, though.
When you play these 4 positions, though, you want kill potential.
Yeah.
The worst thing in the world is you play 4 position, and you don't enable your 4 positions game. Like, that's when I know your draft is kind of like off or something.
Raise 1, 2, 3, lands them all. Fortunately, Exotic Deer is tanky enough that he survives.
When you play Clockwork and you don't have a kill lane, it feels really bad.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to go top because you can naturally Firefly out of cogs. Mid's not easy because you know that the Rubik's camping there, and Rubik's one of the best heroes at dealing with the Clockwork because you can always lift him outside of the cogs. And this bottom lane, because the Rubik, he's like halfway standing. He's like halfway in between mid, halfway in between bottom. It makes it very annoying for him to play this. As Yoku gonna...
Maximum efficiency. Oh no!
Not like this.
I thought he was gonna zap him, telekinesis, pick up the regen rune, and it was gonna be this free harassment.
Maybe he just wasn't watching.
Instead, he doesn't even get it. Must have been looking at mid lane. Oh, Patos is quite low. Looks like they do catch him inside the kinetic field. He goes for the gush, but doesn't have enough for the anchor smash. Looks like Nyx is able to finish him off.
They want to gank mid right now.
They
like,
really do so badly. Look at the Shadow Shaman. He's wrapping all the way around behind. He's got to be smoked up. And this feels like a desperation. Like, was he not smoked up? Did he just make that play during nighttime? That's baller.
No, I think he had to have been smoked up. He passed through the creep wave. And you don't place that ward there if you're not smoked. They're pinging right now though. But, so I was saying, like, the downside of Clockwork is when he was originally buffed, he felt very nice because the mid-hero pool, it was very easy for him to kill. But when you play against these, like, Queen of Pains and stuff,
yeah,
and when you feel like you're playing against dual lanes, your options are a little bit more limited when you don't have these kill combos. Him not being able to go to any of the 3 lanes, like, makes him feel quite bad. Because what are you supposed to do as a Clockwork? Especially as a 4 position in this meta, you want to be as active as possible on the map. When you can't get active, you can't really enable your lanes. Like, you're the hero that's supposed to win 3 lanes for your team.
Yeah.
One of the 3 lanes, and he hasn't been able to do any of that. Which is why he's going to this bottom lane, because he feels like he can kill the Disruptor.
Kill something, and that's going to be Disruptor. He's going to be caught inside the cogs. Miposhka needs to find a way out of this one. Does get a successful glimpse. Patos wants to be able to finish him off here with the help of El Lisach. They should be able to. El Lisach is going to be able to get that kill. Patos, though, is going to die as Yoku comes in to be able to provide some assistance. Now the pullback. Nyx is going to lay some damage onto Katsor. Will be able to finish him off. And El Lisach, who tries to get the shackle in time,
he's
a little bit
faster
late,
than him.
and now he's going to be caught as well. Oh, maybe not. Looks like with the boots on the Shadow Shaman, just enough to stay ahead of Nyx, and is not going to get tossed back to his doom. What Nyx was hoping for.
But look at this. Like, you have to make such a forced move just to do anything.
Yeah.
Katsor doesn't feel good right now. They wanted to take away the Clockwork because they assumed that they would do Clockwork SF. But it puts you in a position where you can't kill any of the 3 lanes. And when you do kill, it's such a hard commitment. Because Patos doesn't really want to make that play.
No.
You're a Tide Hunter. You're not really providing too much. He ends up going down. Like, you can't really afford to die this many times. And the opportunity cost isn't even very high. Because the Tiny has quite a bit.
In your opinion, has this been a common downside for Kinguin? Do you think that they lost to Mineski in part because of their draft?
I think that game 2, they almost certainly should have won.
Yep. But game 1, I felt, was draft-based.
Yeah, game 1 was definitely draft-based. I mean, most of these teams, when they lose, it's going to be draft-related.
Do you think that determines a majority of wins right now?
Oh, 100%. Draft is...
Do you think it's more important than it's ever been?
Actually, I think like 2 months ago was even more important. Nowadays, I feel like the best draft doesn't always win.
Patos will be caught once again here. Does manage to get the anchor smash before a lot of this damage, so he might be able to escape. Katsor is going to be able to help him out here. Throws down a cogs. And Exotic Deer is held here as well, but telekinesis stops him in his tracks.
I really want to point out what Nyx is doing, by the way. As a 1 position, he's consistently protecting his supports.
Yeah, and he's even going for the kill on Patos right now. He does manage to grab it. And Exotic Deer is not level 6, so this kill on Nyx is not going to be so easy. Instead, they're going to get Miposhka, but this is a worthy trade-off for Empire. They pull the mid away from his lane, pull a bunch of supports there.
Nisha has a lot of stacks on him.
Nice.
Spin, though.
We got the spin off just before, so he's not going to take a whole bunch of magic damage here. Should be able to just TP out barely
Very
ahead
close.
of that second raise, but gets it. That was some pretty clutch timing there.
I'll take that as
You see the difference right now, though? Yoku already has Arcanes.
Yeah. Now, what Empire have done, running Rubik and Disruptor, we actually don't see a whole lot of. Maybe it was just recent, like Complexity just ran a 4-position Rubik, but it seems like to me that teams are prioritizing a lot of these 4 positions, that Clockwork and Earth Spirit, these kind of heroes that really roam in. Why aren't we seeing more of the kind of double range supports?
I mean, it depends on the lineup. Like, I think Rubik is a very strong hero right now because of the prevalence of the playmaking 3. When you consistently play against these like Tide Hunters, it feels
Omni
amazing,
Knight.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Omni Knight especially. Then you feel very comfortable taking him as a first 2, and you can use him as a flex, where you can pick him as a 4 or a 5, as Patos is...
Chuck the tree!
Oh, nice.
Not enough.
But
yeah, I guess there's not too many, maybe Bat Rider, maybe Legion. There's not too many offlaners that I think like, oh, Rubik is unhappy with the spells he's going to be stealing there.
Yeah. I think that the null field is also very nice. The null field is something that we don't talk about enough either.
Sure.
I like Rubik as a hero. I feel very comfortable if I'm a drafter and I'm taking him first 2. So you're not sad about that. Like, you do well in lanes. Your team fight potential is very high. I think Secret was onto something when they were just first 2 it all the time.
Grab the Juggernaut. Trying to go for the telekinesis. Looks like he may have thrown it a little bit early there.
Oh, they stacked that for sure.
Yeah, but I think it's near impossible on Lasso. Toss forward, but there is Elisosh to be able to slow down the Bat Rider. Because he's going to spin the moment the lasso ends, but if you telekinesis during the lasso, it kills the telekinesis.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much a... You're never going to win that. Maybe if you grab the creep, tossed it at the Jug while he was lassoed. Maybe that was the play.
I think this active style of carry, though, I like it. He's just moving around the map, trying to get kills set up for his team. It reminds me of like what Crystallize did for Na'Vi. Like Crystallize sped up the game for Na'Vi a lot.
Yeah.
As FN's going to get run into, he was really quick on that.
Oh no, they didn't get the slow off from Exotic Deer. They're finally
There's a lot of heroes here.
Jesus. He was so fast, almost made it out thanks to his drums, but there's just one too many heroes surrounding his mid lane. It looks like Kinguin are going to go for a push off of that. At the same time, Nyx does manage to kill the Clockwork, though. As you said, very active carry. We're seeing that out of Nyx. We're seeing that out of her Juggernaut. Both of them are trying to play pretty active and moving around the map.
What in the world was that? Like, he expected the first 3. He's like, juked you all. Then.
But the funny part is he should have seen the Shadow Shaman, too.
Yeah.
Because his smoke popped on the rotation behind the tier 1.
Oh, that's a very nice Blink Dagger timing. Everyone is liable to die now. You can even kill the Jug if you're somewhat fast. Jug's pretty low, Nisha, playing at 600 health. If he's not careful and he's targeted inside of it, he will go down. As he's going to go to the lane, Nyx. You got to get him with both, though.
Huge opportunity.
Here we go.
Oh,
very
fast. Just too fast. He got it before the lasso grab. He gets it here before the avalanche.
Very quick.
There's a reason I think a lot of people talked about Nisha kind of being the best player on Kinguin. Very high skill, very high potential in this young player.
I remember in like Dota 1 or when Dota started that those plays would be so hype, but now everyone makes them.
Yeah.
Everyone's so good and fast. It was like the advent of like when you used to play against S4 Puck mid and he would just dodge anything.
Everything.
Yeah, and it's just obnoxious to play against. Then you realize everyone can do it now. And the skill cap in Dota's just been raised every year.
Viper Strike stolen by the Rubik.
Did you ever play Dota 1?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it's like Dota 1 a lot. If you watch the old compilation videos, I remember I used to get so hyped. And now they're just like the most basic
Dude,
things.
I remember the big like Merlini Zeus play, that one video.
Oh, triple race?
Yeah, they're going to be able to grab him pretty easily here.
Very nice.
I remember looking at that play when I was playing in Han, going back and looking at that video, and I was like, that's not that impressive.
I mean, it was different times. Like,
yeah, exactly. It was different times, so it was a really clutch play back then.
yeah, back then it was like if you would dodge Stormhammer's Storm Spirit, you were considered like that was a boss move. That was getting into a, was it like a Woe Dota? You know, like we are electric.
We are electric.
Back then, that was a if you did that. Nowadays, like everyone does. Oh, pull back.
Storm onto the Tide Hunter.
Easy. Oof. Patos is. Oh man.
Having a rough game. So is the rest of Kinguin, honestly.
They got Blink
5,000
Dagger
gold lead
on
right
Ghost
now
Stick.
by Empire. They're going to find Katsur. Couldn't even get his level 6. Trying to farm neutrals with the clockwork. That's how you know the game has gone terribly, terribly wrong for you.
That's kind of why I wanted to point out like the prevalence of like what he's doing as a forward position in this game. I was gonna make a video about it, but I didn't know how interesting that'd be because I think it's so cool nowadays. Like your forward position has to do something for the laning phase, and a lot of it depends on like the kind of forward position you are and what you're playing against. Yeah, I think that's so cool because you look at this Rubik, he's very enabled because he can go around the map and get kills for his team. You lift, you're gonna lift him in a triple raise. Whereas like the clockwork, he's gonna run very slowly at you mid. There's natural counters to him everywhere. There's very forced maneuvers at all times for this hero in this game. And this is why like laning phase wise, they suffered so much. And why Empire was able to play the way they did.
And this is also why we don't see a whole lot of clockwork being like third picked up right now. Like that was definitely a difference in drafting when I saw Kinguin go for that.
Yeah, that's why like Earth Spirit's always safe, right? Because if you're Earth Spirit, you have a stun and a silence, so you always feel good. Your ulti's very nice.
A gap closing slow.
Yeah, up at
Hook
top.
shot does manage to grab the SF here, but he already has that force, so he's going to be able to get out of the cogs. Well, all right, he's already going to pull it back with the glimpse there. A little bit late, though.
They got to be careful.
That was weird.
Yeah, especially with the healing ward down.
Yeah.
That was a little...
Popochka does have his static storm. He's going to lay it down now, already on the slash, but he puts the Juggernaut inside, so maybe they can still kill him with a Viper strike down with the Ravage. Managed to catch all of them. He gets off the spin. The Juggernaut will live, and FN will end up dying underneath the wards.
Very weird decision making by Empire.
Funky stuff, man. Funky stuff.
Yeah, they decided to go in one by one. They didn't have to take that fight. That was quite good for them. Like, you allow your Tiny to push out bottom. I think you give up that tower, but instead they lose the Shadow Field on top of that. His Ghost Scepter, or his Force Staff was already on cooldown. Just felt like that was unnecessary. That was the first reveal of the Tide Ravage. And the Tide is still far behind. And make no mistake about it, as a Tide Hunter, you really hate being behind. Like this, Bulba used to tell us, like this hero needs to farm. Yeah. You want to be up there in net worth, otherwise you're a Ravage and that's it. Like you can't tank, you don't provide any other utility, and you never want these 3-position heroes like Enigma or Tide Hunter to just solely be useful for your ult.
We're seeing that reflected in the builds coming out from these Tide Hunters as well, right? They're not going Arcane Boots Blink, they're going Phase Boots into Pipe. Right, so they can tank, they can go ahead and gush people and right-click them. They're not just a one-button Ravage. They're going to sit on the front lines and do a numerous amount of things.
For sure. I really hate the Tide Hunters that just say like, oh, well, I have Ravage. It'll be fine. Well, your Ravage only comes off like, you're going to only have impact then every 2.5 minutes. And if you don't have impact with your Ravage, then your entire game is kind of blown up.
4-man smoke up here from Empire. Last engagement that they took was a bit bunk up there at the tier 1, but this time they're the aggressors. Unfortunately, they've already been scouted out by Kinguin. Good read off of that push. No one's really showing on the map, so they made a successful read and are going to evade this gank, it seems.
Yeah, I think the giant fire on the ground.
Trees just falling over for no reason.
That's random. Who knows where that came from?
We no longer have those special effects, right? When the game goes super late.
Oh, when everything's breaking?
Like, yeah, everything
I kind of like
down.
that.
Yeah, that was always really cool. Just like fire dropping from nowhere.
Does Rubik still have the Omni Slash? I know he stole it.
Yeah, he still has it.
He really wants to use it.
Jug is a pretty good hero to use it on. Force that forward, does manage to grab him. Great use by FN. There to go and throw down the end ultimate. He does have Omni Slash, but it wouldn't get him a kill anyway, so.
Oh, it's running out. At least ulti creeps. You'll get him.
That is true. He has so much mana. Man, he is farmed to hell. He's got Arcane Boots plus the staff, so he's sitting on 1,000 mana.
He's almost got a Force Staff too.
He's
very farmed.
That feels great. You're a Rubik.
Yeah,
just
if you're
got mana to
Clockwork,
burn.
and they've got 2 Force Staffs on the enemy team. You're just like, well, my impact in this game has finished.
Especially when you have the lower level Clockwork, whose hookshot only stuns very, very small duration.
Yeah.
It's hard to be able to get behind the hero and push them back with the cogs with only level 1 hook.
Yeah. The best Clockwork games are the ones where like you just go around, you have a lot of kill potential on everybody. Even when they get Force Staffs, they're delayed to the point where you have a second item.
Yeah. You have a Force Staff yourself, or...
Oh.
Is he going to stop the TP? He is. Going to be able to glimpse Exotic Deer. He's caught. Nothing he can do here, just put some damage on the supports. Maybe they still get the tier 2 off the Serpent Wards.
Nope. Oh, they're going to glyph it and deny it.
Deny it.
Get a bunch of ward money too.
That feels the worst.
And
Katsur.
Katsur.
Let's help. Patos is there to help him out.
Go for it, Ghost Stick. Oh, he did. What a beast. Look at that.
He's not scared of anybody on this team.
You should. That was a 5-stacked clockwork, and you've
Yeah.
got Max Sticky. Like, he's going to die in 2 seconds.
There's no one on Kinguin that can do anything in this. I'm very surprised they took Jug in this game because they have a Viper. Their lineup is good.
What else do you think they should have gone? Like,
I don't know.
I can't remember the bans. I know they banned Void, and Void's very good in lane, and maybe Chrono's somewhat useful here.
Omni Slash, that's a level 2 Omni Slash, so it is going to be enough. Bring him down without the spin. But it just seems to me like if your Jug is not ahead, the game's over. Right?
I'm okay with...
You're a solo core Jug.
Yeah. I hope OD Pixel, by the way, is watching, and he saw that the Jug did not take the +1 second Blade Fury duration in this game.
Who was doing that support Jug meme with? You were part of that?
Was it Jack?
Yeah, it was Jack. It was definitely Jack. Support Juggernaut, Lonham style.
Jack is one of the most confusing players I've ever had the misfortune of playing Dota with. Both me and Merlini, our longest loss streaks in Dota 2, like in our history, have been coincidentally or not with Jack.
I feel like I've played a little bit more with Jack because I've gone to
Yeah.
a few more of these Chinese events. I avoided that stat.
Yeah, I said
said
it's
no.
miserable. Oh, at bottom, the hook comes in.
Baboshka is going to be caught here. He does have Static Storm if he wants to lay it down. Tries to go for the Glimpse instead, but it's going to caught underneath the Nether Toxin from the Benno Viper guy. Caught myself there.
Accurate.
That's all they get. They get these little support pickoffs. Nothing's really changing about the game. It's still the SF and the Tiny getting bigger and bigger. And the Juggernaut's game is going to grow harder and harder for him to make that big Omni Slash play. Bring down these heroes. Meanwhile, Nyx, oh my god, that Hex did not last at all. That was a level 1 Hex that just like instantly disappeared.
Yeah, Nyx is getting gone on right now.
They don't have the Omni Slash, so it's going to be hard for them to bring him down. He
boy.
has to actually turn and fight. Now, Patos is here with the help of the Viper. They're going to go for the Ravage. It barely connects, but they don't have the counter vision to be able to see Nyx, so he's going to come back in. See if he can hunt down Nisha. They do manage to get the Static Storm with the stun on top of that, preventing the spin and bringing down the Juggernaut. Now it's up to Exotic Deer and Patos. Neither one of them do a whole lot of damage, but maybe they can slowly but surely bring down Nyx. They are going to be able to get at least that much. 1,000 gold goes to Patos for that kill, but the fight still rages on. Patos is now going to go for some of those supports, chasing them back while the Viper is dealing with the Bat Rider. Here comes FN, though, from the north. Is going to lay some serious damage onto Patos. Trapped inside the kinetic field. He can't make it out. Viper looks like he did manage to get away from the Bat Rider, so he's okay. He actually killed the Bat Rider with the help of the Shadow Shaman. But all in all, it did seem like a better fight for Empire.
Yeah, gold. It's kind of even, though, because of how far ahead they were.
Yeah.
At that point, trading 4 for 2 is gold even, at least. And in mid,
Gonna get a whole lot worse if they lose Katsur as well as Alisash here. Exotic Deer's coming over. They've already shackled up FN. Glimpse will stop that one. And Mass force stops getting them away with the block from that Hellbear. That was Exotic Deer's Hellbear, yeah. Get out of the Clockwork's way.
this is the downside of when the enemy has so many 4-staffs. You don't feel like you can play the same amount of Dota. And the catch just like, it's not easy for them anymore. Because this Tidehunter's so underfarmed. Same with the Viper. You saw the disable, right? Like how long it lasted, by the way?
Yeah, instant.
Just,
It was like a mini stun.
yeah, he was there and then he wasn't. And they give the DD to Nyx to bottle up.
Trees around, huh?
Oh no, I like Empire.
Yeah, they're playing really well.
Feel like they could have 2-0 newbie yesterday too.
Yeah.
Some poor decision making, but
Against Kinguin, they definitely look like the superior team here.
so far, you never know. They can still get this like Ravage playoff, but their heroes don't naturally shove out the lanes like very easily. Their core heroes anyways. The Jug's got Battle Fury, but I don't know how much more farm he has than that. Like, he needs at least 2 more items to fight.
Like 3 of their heroes are extremely dependent on just going for kills. Jug, Viper, and Hawk. They are not getting any of those. Score is 18-10 with a 10,000 gold lead to the favor of Empire. Currently setting up for Roshan as well, just to secure the game a bit more.
I like that too. If you saw the way that the net worth lead went, relatively just like Whoop.
Climb, climb, climb.
Yeah. Moon Manager used to always complain about that when we were on DC. He'd say, why is our graph never just a straight up? Why is there always these like jagged lines? But no.
Because we're not very consistent. That would have
That'd be one way to describe that team. In mid though, they've got great vision. And it's actually Kinguin that are going to run in for this. And I think this is their one play that they got to make. They're behind by a lot right now, but
go for it. They've got the Ravage missed total shot. That's going to be a bad start, but so is a missed Static Storm. They've already jumped getting low. So looks like they are going to be able to bring down Nyx. The Batrider's chased away as well. Clockwork barely survives and keeps the rest of the heroes. They're going to get Roshan. They're going to try and take this Batrider, and the Wards are taking Roshan at the same time. Exotic Deer's the only one inside the pit. He's focusing on that objective. They just caught the SF. The Shackles last a little bit, but Kinguin have no other heroes to be able to catch him. He's too damn fast. Kinguin. Hey, they saw a small opportunity. They knew they were behind. Go for the ballsies play. They get an Aegis. They're going to get a tier 1 tower on top of that. That may have just swung the game a little bit back in their favor.
Empire needed to get, or Miposhka had to get the Tidehunter inside of the null field. If he does, then they go for that Pele because it's the counter to Tide.
This is dangerous. Empire trying to fight this one out. 4 versus 5. FN with this Invis rune is trying to set up for a great ultimate. Patos, he's going to be targeted. He's going to walk right on top of him. FN nails it. Now Katsur is going to be caught as well by Ghostic. Elisash, he's going to be glimpsed back as well. A 4 versus 5 turns into a 4 versus 2 as Empire just ravaged the entirety of Kinguin. Great outplay there from FN.
Man, he vociferously shut that down. Ooh, the timing. He got it right. Perfect. Yeah, that was pixel perfect. Oh, you gotta like that. That was... Whew. I was like, ah, no, Empire, not like this.
Especially since the Ravage was still up for the Tide. You're like trying to force this fight. Like, oh, Jesus. The only way they could do that, though, is just completely bursting the Tide. Yeah.
He has a hood too, so he actually just like got right on top of his screen. That was a beast. Is FN really gonna use the tome for himself? Come on, man. You are level 20 already.
Gotta get to that 25.
Oh, look at that hero damage. I like... Wait, can we bring that back up? I like looking at that.
Why?
I don't know, that was cool.
What?
Oh, there we go.
Oh, damn. Production on point.
Yeah. Look at the... Clockwork has dealt almost...
Same amount of damage as...
Disruptor, yeah.
Batrider sitting at 9k. That's Ghostic. Beast.
Ghostic has been a standout player for me from Empire, as well as everyone already knows about FN and all that. But Ghostic has been insane.
Ghostic was known as a Batrider spammer before.
Yeah.
So it's not too surprising that he's having a great performance on that hero now.
When I think of Ghostic, I think of like Ancient Batrider. Yeah. His Axe yesterday was... I mean, that was such a rough time.
I mean, they picked Axe.
Yeah.
What is Ghostic going to do with that? If I'm that offlaner, I'm very unhappy with my captain.
You know that
you picked me what hero?
That picture of like Universe when he sees like Envy.
He's just like Kunkka.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to see, like if they would show
Ghostic's reaction.
It's like Axe.
What kind of miracles do you expect me to pull with that hero?
He had like 2,000 net worth after like 10 minutes. I was like, this guy does not want to play the same game that I'd want to play.
Ted actually asked me, he was like, what about Centaur? He's like, Centaur's a great hero. And I was like, he's like Axe. You saw that game yesterday, Ted? It's just like that.
Nah, it's different.
No.
Centaur gets to hit creeps with double edge. It's a cool guy.
They have the same problem. Their laning phase is garbage. They're just so easily shut out, and they have to have a good laning
Austin,
phase.
in my 3K MMR games, you'd be wrong.
That's true. My 3K MMR, where an Oracle stands and hits me.
They fear me there. All right, so Nyx is going to invis up. He's Silver Edge too. They want to try to burst this Tidehunter if they find him.
Yeah.
He would pretty much kill anybody.
Break that Kraken shell. Yeah. So now they've got two ways to deal with him. Both that and bursting him, as well, jump on a Katsur. Double initiation, Nisha pops the BKB, goes straight for FN, is going to throw down that Omni Slash, but he's going to bounce.
It's only targeting him!
Hitting FN! What the hell just happened? Nisha with the godlike RNG, now spinning on top of the Disruptor, stuck inside the Static Storm with X to a Tiny. He may die here, barely gets out, managed to get off the healing ward, Tiny doesn't kill him, and now he's going to die instead. Nisha hoping to be able to catch up to Maposhka, gets a good kinetic field that will save his life.
Woo! All right. He needed that to go literally anywhere else. And it didn't.
Oh, if anything's gonna tilt you as FN, it's gonna be that play right there.
Radiant's middle tower
Are you looking to see FN's reaction?
I mean, there was like 2 heroes right next to him, and yeah, sure, there's like, you can splash and stuff, but that was unfortunate. That thing honed. If that determines the game, I would be baffled.
Well, 20 seconds till the SF is back up. Kinguin, again, seeing an opportunity and pushing it for the most that they can get out of it. Spinning out. They got a good amount of tier 3 damage. Just need to make sure they don't get caught by the glimpse, which they won't.
SF is just, you know, he's very casually BKB ulting. He's like, whatever, I'm getting Omni'd. I'll force to the rest of my team. We'll split this damage like bros. We'll turn this fight on them. Nope.
Crazy. And now the Juggernaut is at 16k net worth, working his way towards a butterfly.
Yep. He's really tanky too. He's got 2,500 health. But
we also have an important talent picked up, the Tidehunter, with his percentage-based increase on Anchor Smash. Really important pickup.
It's really nice against the Tiny especially.
It again comes back to that thing where you want to be useful outside of the Ravage. Being tanky, being on the front lines, and constantly spamming Anchor Smash has a very large impact in these team fights. Empire, though, not one to back down. They're going to keep looking for fights here with the Shadow Blade up. Is that a gem that they picked up, or no, just a Sin?
So this is kind of my concern, at least for Empire. When they try to take these engagements, it's a little bit awkward. Even with the 10k lead, you never really feel that comfortable in this game.
Why not?
I think the team fight is still very strong for them. And
the Ravage.
Like, the tankier your heroes are, the weirder the game feels to play, especially when a large part of your heroes like come down to burst. Like Batrider and Tiny and this SF ulti, like, it's all very, you get this one shot of fighting. Whereas it feels as though when you have heroes like Jug and Viper and Tidehunter, you're so tanky that you get a little bit more leeway in these engagements. Because the way that they kill this Jug at this point is like they've got to initiate on top of him, and before he gets spin off, they got a Disruptor ult on top of that. And this Viper is very hard to kill at this point. Like, he's super tanky. He's got 2,000 health.
He actually is becoming a problem.
Yeah, he's got 18 armor, BKB.
I don't know how. I honestly don't know how this Viper came back into this game and became relevant again.
Yeah. What's his level 20 talents?
Viper Strike. Deep.
I ran into some like rank 20 Chinese dude that went like, oh, hold that thought.
Sort of scouting everything out. Oh, actually managed to get the jump on FN and backs out, forcing out the BKB. But the Ravage already blown, only catching Nyx. And FN gets a really good ultimate. This time around, the Omni Slash is going to bounce to his allies. FN down to half HP, but now they've got a lasso. Fortunately, he managed to pop the BKB.
Oh, he stole the Omni
and onto Nisha. He's taking a lot amount of physical damage, but he will manage to get out thanks to the healing ward. He will stay alive. The Batrider's dropping low. Exotic Deer got a lot of damage onto him. Yule Scepter buys him a little bit of time. Force Staff and blink himself away ahead of that shot. That was close one for both teams, but Kinguin definitely bungled their initiation there.
Yeah, that was awkward. Especially because the Ravage comes out.
If they just force the BKB, that'd be great.
They just chill there. That was so weird. Then they go on the Jug, who has a BKB himself, I believe.
Yep.
And Yoku steals his ult, but isn't able to get anything more than that. It's a very nice spell.
Healing ward. Gonna be happy with that, especially the Tiny.
That's what I mean, though. Like, when you're very bursty like this, and you lack the follow-up damage after your ults.
The Butterfly's gonna make it that much harder for them to bring down this Jug. when he gets it.
That's why you see the SF going
Oh,
instead
he
of for
actually goes Scotty.
the spell damage. He's going for the pure right clicker because he understands in this game he needs to.
But that's the beauty of SF, right? Can always change your build
Yeah,
to fit the situation. LD Sash replaces a ward as it's about to die.
they know there's no Ravage.
Nisha's going to go ahead and spoil this one. Jumps in front, is going to be lassoed up, but they managed to get the back line. Trying to go for the Disruptor. Nisha's going to be able to pop his BKB. Nyx, though, jumps in, managed to finish off the Tidehunter already with FN dropping that ultimate. Most of these carries for Kinguin just have to back out. Ghostic's looking to be able to slow him down, though. They've already got the kinetic field. Fuel Scepter to slow him down even further. Telekinesis grab. Does have a spin up. Is going to throw it out in just a second here, but it's going to fade out. Exotic Deer's just going for the supports. They have to fight this one. They have no other choice.
Oh, we got the ult
Flash. It actually goes off. Can he bounce back to Nyx? He gets on top of Nyx, but he doesn't have the damage to be able to finish him off. Only gets the Bat Rider. Katsor, he's got to force staff himself over the cliff to be able to get out of that fight. At the end, Empire do manage to keep 2 of their cores alive, the Nyx as well as FN. That's all the damage they need to be able to go high ground and force buybacks. In fact, even more, they're going to be able to catch Katsor here. FN, Nisha's going to go for it without an Omni Slash. He can't really threaten these heroes too well.
And with the 4 staff available, FN's not afraid of it at all. Buyback, though, on the Jug was forced out. He's still very farmed. And keep in mind, they did not have Ravage, which is where the majority of that comes from.
Yeah.
But very nice gold swing back towards Empire after they had battled for so long to bring that game to pretty much even.
And once they have the butterfly, like, oof.
Yes.
For the SF, the Jug is going to have a hard time laying damage into him. Trying to get the Scotty. Is that really the item choice?
I think so.
Slow down the SF.
Just keep getting tankier.
Yeah.
I'll take that as tribute.
I think he realizes, like, post the major ultis, it's a little bit harder for them to lock down. If you saw when the Rasta shackled Nyx for half a second.
Yeah.
You're not really reliably disabling anybody at this point. Still, they can win fights. Kinguin can definitely win fights. It's like a good Ravage.
Yeah. We're not seeing clean initiations for him, though. Most of the time, BKB's making Ravage a lot harder. They're actually going to go for Roshan here, but a jump in here from Ghostic managed to grab him before
not like
this time around. He's just going to end up dying. They threw the Ravage down and everything, and this is a disaster. Without their primary damage dealer, there's no way Kinguin can win this fight, and he's down for 2 minutes. They blocked out with the Cogs, trying to get themselves away from this team fight. Exotic Deer standing on the front lines, dishing out the damage, managed to get a Hex onto Nyx. Not going to last for long, though, especially with the Fuel Scepter canceling the Shackle. All of them are so tanky. They're just not dying anytime soon to the Viper's damage. 4 down with Katsor trying to make himself get out of here. Does manage to TP back, but in the end, Empire don't even need to think about going for Roshan. They just go for the high ground, knowing that Jug has no buyback.
I think the game's just over now.
It's over.
Yeah, what a way to lose. They
One
battled,
time Nisha isn't fast enough.
yeah, they battled back for so long, and like that. I was hoping for some like hype 60-minute game, but Empire played very well in that Roche engagement, read that situation. Ghostic was very quick on the trigger. Just goes in, no hesitation at all, realizes they are so out of position. If we kill this Jug once, the game's over. Like, they'll expend every single buyback at that point. If you kill Jug, but you lose like 3 heroes, you just all buyback and go mid anyways. Don't even go for the Roshan. Very good decision making. Very well done by Empire. They would have been really tilted if they lost this game after having the start that they did.
Especially since it all started going downhill with that one Omni Slash.
Yeah.
But they brought it back. They got 2 lanes for backs. They'll go Roche. Scare the game even further, not taking any risks.
It's very weird. Like, Kinguin played so carefully for such a long time.
Yeah.
And that's how they got back into this game in the first place. Like, they were very smart with their engagements, and then the last 2, it just feels like just took their foot off the gas.
Another grab. Katsor. He's dead, so it's going to be Kinguin again, fighting with some men down for another minute. Fortunately, they've got time. One last hold. Empire pick up the Aegis. Is that cheese and the cheese one is. Yeah, Nyx has that. Hard enough to be able to burst down these heroes with the Omni Slash once. Not sure what they're going to do. About a second life on the SF and a cheese on the Tiny. I feel like cheese on Tiny is like the most valuable because you just can't chain stun that guy down.
Yeah, he always get it off.
And he's tanky enough to take full heal off of the 2k HP on cheese. 1500 mana, something like that.
Almost has his AC completed too. Jug has a Blink Dagger now. He wants to be the one to finally jump. That's the awkward part of this game, is that every single engagement has been started by Empire. Because they have a Batrider versus the Tidehunter. And Tidehunter is such an awkward hero when you're playing against multiple BKBs. Because once you get jumped on, like, it's very easy to see him come in, right?
Yeah.
Especially since he didn't have the Blink Dagger.
And the Ravage is slower than it used to be as well. Omni Slash and the initiation in the backline managed to get a hook shot onto the Disruptor. No Static Storm actually did lay it out, and it's going to be able to catch and kill the Clockwork. The rest of these heroes are magic immune though, so Exotic Deer and Nisha are going to be able to get back. They finished off that Aegis, now on the front lines. Ghostic trying to get this, managed to get a good Ravage onto the SF, controlling him up. The last one's going to try and slow down this damage from Nisha, but it looks like they can still kill. Counter Ravage coming out from Yoku though. Might just be enough to be able to get FN out. No, Nisha is able to bring him down with his blade. Now goes for Yoku up next. They see Nyx. He's going to pop his BKB invis. Please tell me they have some counter vision. Sees him for a second thanks to the sentry drop, but they do not have anything else. So Nyx is going to be able to get out. Kinguin managed to hold. They force the cheese. They take down the Aegis as well as the SF second life. And they don't lose any buildings for it.
Yeah, it's a very nice rotation, or move by them at bottom lane. Like, Nisha just goes in, he's like, okay, I'm done with getting the fight started by Batrider jumping me every time, or jumping one of us. Let's just go in. He immediately jumps on, kills a hero, and at that point, numbers advantage in their favor.
And death timers are long enough that you won't have a large opening here where Empire can go and force it while the Ravage is down. In fact, they may even try and fight this one out with the Clockwork going in. Instantly dies to Nyx, though. They may still fight. They've got more reinforcements, but Ghostic, just one step ahead of the rest of Kinguin, is able to blink out.
Rubik has Ags.
See if he can steal Gush.
He is always going to get Viper.
Yeah.
Viper Strike Ags. It seems so stupid, but it's so annoying. It's so much damage.
And he's got an Ether Lens too, so it's really easy to just cast it from the back.
Yeah, the cast range is going to be absurd.
Gigantic. What's level 25 on Tiny? What's the talents? I forgot. Multiple tosses, right? That's one of them. And Avalanche cooldown. Which one do you like?
I like the Avalanche so that you can juggle people. Then you get a refresher orb.
The multiple tosses?
Yeah,
so you
yeah,
can juggle?
yeah. So you take that, and then you get a refresher, and then you get the refresher shard, and someone just like permanently. Yeah. Some real Ringling Brother shit.
20k gold lead, double the kills. Empire seem to be in full control of this game. They've got 2 lanes of racks, but they are struggling a bit to be able to close it out entirely. Kinguin holding on to that one last lane, and really, the next push should be even easier. No Aegis, no cheese. But all this time, he does go to the toss charge. All this time, it's like, I just don't see how Kinguin's heroes are going to be able to utilize this time to scale some more.
They're just waiting for Empire to like overcommit for a fight or something.
Yeah.
At that point, that's really all you can do when you're 2 racks down. And you don't have these heroes that can easily shove out waves.
At least the SF is pretty much topped off. Can change out his SY, get a Moon Shard, have an MKB.
This is the downside when Jug's like your
Single core?
yeah like the game where Mineski was able to do it, they had Gyro and OD. And they had Omni Knight, so that's like a very strong tri-core. But in this game, it's like you've got an underfarmed Tidehunter, a Viper.
doesn't really scale.
So if you just lock down the Jug, like you're golden.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
That's all their damage.
That's when you really like playing Batrider. It's when you just have to focus on getting one core.
Yeah.
One of the heroes experienced some technical
Do
difficulties.
you think that's why we don't see Batrider be the highest tier? It's because there's so many duo or tri-core lineups.
Yeah, when you see people play Batrider against, like, for example, Liquid, where they always pick this like greedy tri-core, like, well, who do you lasso? I remember like one specific game, they had like Razor, but then they also took like DK and I can't remember what the last hero was, like Terrorblade or something. They just ran. They're very farm tiny though at this point.
Yeah, he's trying to pick up a Daedalus now.
Empire don't want to repeat the mistakes that, funny enough, Kinguin made.
Yeah. Ooh, Kinguin are actually pushing out here, smoked up. They are going to go for Nyx here. Ravage
get
just
BKB up.
straight up. BKB now activated by Nyx, but they got the Omni Slash on top of him. It's not going to be enough by itself, but they will manage to slow him down. Jeez, that Omni Slash lasts forever. He's got the maxed out Omni Slash. Looks like they're going to try and go for more here with Pastos trying to slow down Maposhka. But it looks like it's just going to be a one-off. 90 seconds, no buyback. But at the same time, no Omni Slash and no Ravage. So I'm not sure how much Kinguin's going to be able to do with this opportunity.
He's got the +5 Omni talent. He pretty much won forever. And he's got a Lincoln's, by the way, to deal with the Batrider. That was weird. He broke the smoke, had some time to get the BKB off.
He probably just anticipated, no way that Ravage me. He does get off the spin off, but at the same time, the physical damage from FN is just far too much. This is the power of that physical damage build for the SF. Fortunately, Exotic Deer, there was no interrupt there, so he was able to just BKB teleport out. And Empire may just go high ground with Jug dead. They may not have their tiny, but FN is surely enough.
He's got buyback, though.
Yeah. See if they can force the buyback.
The golden border is there.
Tiny's up in 20 seconds. Does Tiny have boots? Boots to travel?
Technical difficulties.
No.
No. Remember, he was saving for...
Yeah. So if they want to wait for him, gonna take a little bit. Oh, double siege wagons too.
Go 6-5 flight up.
He's got lasso, back up again. All he needs to do is grab Exotic Deer. Really, anybody. Katsuro's going to try and push him back. Telekinesis stops him before he can go for the Cox play, but at the same time, he does manage to find his lasso initiation. Buyback is there. BKB activated. He's going to go for the Omni Slash on FN. Only hitting away from all of his allies. He only has the Omni Slash on him. It is going to be enough to bring him down. Nisha looks for more. Goes for the spin out. Goes Dick blinks on top of him, preventing a blink away. He has Yule Scepter. Can he get the blink off? Looks like the Nethertox is going to stop him here, and he will be brought low. 2 down from Empire now, but it costs him the buyback, as well as the Omni Slash from our Juggernaut. And they still have lanes to deal with.
What did the Rubik steal, by the way? Did he get the ulti? Nah,
No,
it was close. He could have gotten the Ags ult.
Not really that good.
Pretty hype. He's really farmed. He's got an Octarine queued up.
Yeah. Crazy.
Had to force another buyback, though, on the Jug. That was a sick team fight, though. It's whenever Nisha gets these isolated ults, can bring down a core just by himself.
Yeah. Seems like with that 25 talent, he can even bring down the Tiny with the Omni Slash. Pretty crazy considering how tanky this Tiny is. Nisha's jumping forward, hoping to be able to find somebody to catch. They're trying to force things right now because they've got 20 seconds left on the death timer of the SF. Be a huge win if they could either force an objective or take out a buyback from one of these.
Yeah, Pipe is popped. Nisha just frontlining for them. This is the awkward spot now where you don't want to buy back if you're Shadow Fiend,
Yeah.
because you're just about to respawn. But that works out in favor, as he doesn't have to waste that. And there's no need for him to.
Roshan timer. It's going to be our next objective, I presume.
The double Ravage would be very useful. As Empire immediately smoke up. They don't have souls, though, right? On the Shadow Fiend, he just respawned. He's only got 18. They're still going to go for it, though. They think that there might be a shot that they're roshing.
Yeah. And Roshan, a late spawn here. So instead, is Empire going to try to utilize this smoke, go for a pickoff? Are they just going to control the field and wait for Roshan?
I think you just control the field and wait for Roshan. Going high ground is very scary, but there's no refresher orb on Jug or anything like that, so if he Omni slashes you, you just tank it, go through the Aegis, pop your BKB after, come back into the fight, and you should win the fight at that point. When you have these like giant ults, like these giant single target ults, it's very nice to play with an Aegis.
Well, that certainly gets FN back to full souls. Looks like he's going to go for a Satanic. See if he can maybe survive through the Omni Slash. They are going to be able to grab Katsor here. Free pick off, costing them the lasso. That's very little.
He died very quickly.
Yeah.
Now you go back for the Rosh. And if Clock buys back, then you know that they're going to contest it. And you can reposition yourself. And if he doesn't, it's a free Roshan.
Yeah.
It's the benefit of just getting one of those one-offs.
He does not have buybacks, so Kinguin, look at him, even have the supports play super far forward just to make sure that if Kinguin do want to go for the contest here, they try and blink forward, but counter blinks from Empire keep them at a safe pace. Kinguin still trying to find this one. Elisach managed to get the initiation. Nix tries to go for Nisha, actually toss Exotic here, already down to half HP, forced to pop his VKB, while Elisach doesn't manage to get out. Unfortunately, his TP canceled by the toss. Omni Slash, though, stays on the SF. Now bounces over to He's down at half HP. With the healing ward out, these cores are going to stay alive. There's not much Empire can do. Full retreat out now. Kinguin take a 4 versus 5 and are winning it with 2 cores down, but they have to defend the base. Patos has to go back with a big wave pushing in onto the throne, and no tier 4s left. His team is going to have to try and do Roshan with just the 2 cores inside the pit.
And Ghost Stick, it looks like he wants to go for this.
Oh, managed to get the lasso, pulls into Yoku, but they still manage to, jump in from Yoku. Did he manage to grab anything? Yoku, he grabbed the refresher shard as well as the cheese. That is worth his life. They had to keep that refresher shard out of the hands of the Tidehunter.
Very well done. I think that death is well worth it for Yoku. You give up a K, but you keep the refresher shard, like you said, out of the hands, even out of the hands of the Jug.
Yeah, Jug Omni Slash as well is devastating these team fights. I am astounded at how strong this hero is in the late game.
His ability to just blow one hero up is kind of absurd right now.
Yeah.
Like, they pop BKB, so it's like, fine with me, don't care, doesn't affect me at all.
Every single time I'm like, no, there's no way the Tiny dies to it.
No,
Omni Slash
they just die.
It just doesn't stop.
And now they're going to go for the high ground, and this is an awkward spot where you're not sure if you want to buy back if you're anybody from Empire.
For me, I'm saying no buybacks. You got a tier 2 at top lane. Okay, maybe you should get the right kind of initiation here. That is not the hook shot that you wanted. With the toss up in the air, that is a Jug and a Clockwork dead. No buyback for the Jug and a pullback. BKB gonna be popped. Exotic Deer, as long as, he doesn't have TP.
He doesn't have TP. They're gonna chase him.
They're gonna spot him off the tier 2. He's not getting out. He has an Aegis. Maybe he can take Yoku with him. Slowly but surely, the poison damage. Yoku is gonna be able to get out. What is this dropped item? Nyx is just taunting him. I like that.
And he does go down. That was costly. You can't go in that far. They anticipated with 30 seconds left that nobody from Empire would buy back, but still, that's way too deep. Like, nobody on their team could really follow up, and Viper immediately buys back, which is the right thing to do. Refresh it as fast as you can. You know you have to do it anyways. Get the buyback cooldown going. And now this is a weird situation for both teams as...
Okay, he's got buyback. Clockwork's about to come back up, but again, their big damage dealer is the Juggernaut. They don't have that, nor do they have tier 4s to be able to protect the throne. Blink forward is going to try and jump in and get the Ravage out. They already have the control up on the SF. They need to be able to finish him. That is a huge kill, but a BKB already goes down with that ultimate. Now the jump forward by Elisach managed to get a Ravage down as well with the Bat Rider sitting on top of the Vipers. They're going to be able to get that lasso with the physical damage. They'll bring him down with both the damage dealer set and all of Kinguin out. It is going to be Empire finally able to finish up this game 1. A few bumps in the road, but they finally do get there.
That was a wild game. It felt like for a bit both teams were just like, nope, you take this one. I think that Bat Rider, by the way, got the double ult. I think he was given the refresher, yeah. That's why that stuff matters. Imagine if they have the cheese and the refresher on the Tide. Like, they can hold that fight. That is very unfortunate. And that decision to go in so deep, you have to anticipate. If you go that far in and you know that the Jug doesn't have buyback, they will commit for that. Kill the Jug once and end the game.
Yeah.
and the Tidehunter was way too far forward. He knows that they're 5-manning down there. That's their only play at that point because of the Jug's dead. Yes, you have